Have you ever had a brand that you were absolutely a fan of, but suddenly you had some one-time use samples of some products of theirs that you never tried? Well, that's the situation I'm in today. Hey everybody, as you can see, I'm totally fresh-faced, and I decided to film a tutorial with the brand that I have absolutely been loving, and that is the Estée Edit by Estee Lauder. Now, I have not yet filmed a video that included any of their products. I really don't know why, because their products are amazing. So today I figured, instead of just filming my typical tutorial slash review slash XYZ, let me just go through the products with you guys, because I'm trying these for the first time, plus I have some favorites, and I just want to kind of do a combination of first thoughts and also products that I already love and tell you why I love them as I apply them. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply my Pore Vanishing Stick. This is the Estee Lauder Pore Vanishing Stick. This is the sample size. I do have the full size one, but I haven't started using it yet because I like to use up my samples first. This product helps you pretty much do what the name implies. Minimize pores, make your skin look smooth. I like to use this product as a primer, especially when my pores are looking a little big. And that usually happens around the time of my period. Let's be real, girls. Sometimes our periods, uterus just wreaks havoc on every part of your body, and for me it is my face. Make me look blotchy, just everything. Nightmare. So I like to use this product for that. This product, you can just rub it right on the face. You don't need any additional brushes. You don't need any additional help. Like, I can literally talk to you guys as I do this. Now, I like to focus a lot on my nose when I apply this. And if you're wondering what it feels like, if you've ever used a silicone-based product, that's what this feels like. Now, usually after I rub it all over my face, I like to just use my fingers and really get it in there. And I love how it feels very soft, very smooth. I'm not sure if it actually contains silicone ingredients, but it reminded me of Lancome's La Base Pro. So if you've ever tried that, that's what it feels like. Very smooth, very soft. You definitely feel an instantaneously softer skin. So I do feel like already my pores on my nose look a little bit smaller. Here's a nice big old close-up. Do you guys think that the pores on my cheeks are terribly noticeable? Like, you can see where I have some acne scars, but I feel like overall the skin is much smoother. So this product I'm already a fan of. Then I have this one-time use sample. This is the Beam Team Hydrate and Glow, and it says it could be applied solo or with makeup, over or under, or mixed right in. So I'm gonna use this A16 right here. I'm gonna use A16 right here, and I'm just gonna apply this lightly to my face. Here it is in my finger. It looks a little bit shimmery. It kind of reminds me a little bit of MAC's strobe cream, so I'm not gonna go too crazy with this. If I had more, I probably would have used this as maybe a primer, but then again, I already used the Pore Stick as a primer. You don't want to do too much. So I'm applying this on my face. This product also kind of reminds me of the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. Just the way it gives you just a slight illumination without making you look like you're in Twilight. So I like that. So I'm using this all right up. And this is a 16. So right there, I get my neck a little bit. Don't want to neglect the neck. So there we go. I feel very fresh-faced. I feel like I could stop right now and maybe just do my brows a little bit and be able to go outside and feel like a functioning human being. So this is nice. I also have A26 here, which is a little bit thicker. I'm going to use this later on in my look. Now I have the Estée Edit foundation, so hopefully this will be enough for my full face. This is 310 Chai, so I'm going to open this baby up. Oh, this looks like it might be a little too orange for my skin tone. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Oh, this looks like it might be way too orange for my skin tone. There it is right there. We'll do a spot test. We'll see. Just looks like a little bit too orange. Let's see. Yeah, it looks a little too orange for my skin tone. I don't think this is gonna work, guys. I I can tell you right now, the foundation feels smooth. It's definitely a nice coverage. Like, you can definitely see that it got rid of my redness, but I'm starting to look a little Oompa Loompa-y. Not Estee Lauder's fault, but I just think that of the little color chart, this I would have been a little bit better with maybe 200 Dune or even 210 Chamois, but definitely not 310 Chai. Definitely should have stuck within the 200s. I definitely would have been better off within the 200s. I don't remember where I got this from. I might have got this from Gem Beauty. So I don't think I had to choose the shade, but this is definitely not my shade here. So I'm gonna cover it up a little bit with another brand. I'm actually gonna mix a lighter foundation right into it. This way I could still maybe use it, still get some use out of it. Put a little bit of a lighter foundation. Gonna mix it up right there. Maybe, yeah, that's a little bit better. Not so Oompa or Loompa. I don't want to be either one. So I'm gonna apply this. I'm gonna blend this out, by the way, guys. I'm just laying the foundation down, literally. And I want to hide up that orange. Yeah, once I mixed the lighter foundation in, it kind of worked. So this foundation, by the way, promises that skin will look instantly more even and glowing. It feels so good with Skin Loving Shea Butter and Pink Peony. It does have a very nice smell to it, very pretty smell. It's a buildable formula and you can control your coverage. I definitely see that, and had this been a lighter color that I didn't have to mix into another foundation, this would have been definitely a go-to for me. I think it still might be a go-to for me. Like, I'll pick up the full size when I get the chance, just because it feels very nice. Like, you don't really need that much. Like, I feel like I've already put too much on my skin. So hopefully I'm not looking terribly orange to you guys. I'm gonna try to get this to work. So all in all, I don't think it's too terrible. I'm going to be putting some Pore Cosmetics over it because I do feel like it needs just a little something. Again, not its fault, just not the right shade for me. By the way, the brushes that I'm using, these are Royal & Langnickel. All the brushes I'm going to be using are by Royal & Langnickel. They're some of my favorite brushes, plus they're so pretty and they're like color coded. It makes grabbing my brushes so much easier. Like, if I'm in a rush, I'm like, okay, this is the foundation brush, this is the powder brush, and I know already because color coding. Plus I like that they have that rubberized feeling, makes them really easy to hold. On top of that, I also have a promo code for you guys. If you want to check out the Royal & Langnickel brushes, there's a promo code below. It's Recycled Stardust. Use that and you can get 10% off any order. So I'm using my multi-purpose brush here in the Pure Cosmetics. I wish I had some Estee Lauder, I really do. Like, this I still consider this video an Estee Lauder video, but I didn't have any Estee Lauder powder, so I'm gonna improvise. So yeah, this is definitely getting better. Okay, so that to me feels a little bit better. So now I'm gonna do my eyes, and I'm going to be using the Estee Edit palette. This was the duo palette that came together in a pack, and so I think it's like Glam and Gritty or Glow and Gritty. I absolutely love this palette, not only because it has such a beautiful sparkle to it, which is a little dusty right now because I've been doing my makeup, but I love the subtle sparkle of it. It's very pretty packaging, and the inside you get a generous sized mirror, and also the shades work really nice. I've heard some criticism that these shades, people find them very gritty, very grainy. Honestly, just use them a little moist and all those problems disappear. So that's how I'm going to be using my shades, especially these 4 shades. They're a little bit gritty, but moist, you have no problem. So these 2 shades, by the way, are also in the Highlighting the Glow palette. This is the Gritty palette. So I didn't actually touch the 2 in that palette, so I'm going to be starting off with the face palette, and I'm using the Domed Shadow Brush, and I'm going to be applying this shade right here. This is actually a highlight for the face, but I like applying it to my eye because it adds just a nice little bit of highlight, especially underneath the brow bone. I haven't done my brows yet, but it's just a nice little shade. Apply it all over my lid. So it's a nice base shade that you can put on. Now you can put on primer. I don't really apply primer, but you of course can if you want your shades to pop a little bit more. I don't feel it's terribly necessary, but that's just me. So now moving on to this dark brown shade, and I'm going to apply it with the blender, the crease side brush of the Crease and Smudge brush because I just want a light amount of shade. So I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna make sure that I turn my brush as I go, and I'm gonna tap because I don't want because I want as little fallout as possible. Now I'm gonna be applying this right here into my crease, and as you see, I'm doing a very soft motion. I'm not pushing too hard with the brush. I'm using a circular motion on the outside of my eye, and I'm just bringing it in because I really want to just give myself like a nice soft transitional type shade. And this is a very pigmented shade, so if you go too dark or you apply too hard or you use the wrong brush, you're going to have a very harsh dark color, and you don't want that. You want it to be a little bit softer. I mean, it's a dark color, don't get me wrong, but you don't want it to be too, you know, too opaque, because these shades are very opaque. And you want to apply a little bit under your lower lash line, just a little bit. Now I want you guys to notice that when you apply it very softly and you use a soft brush and you tap off your excess, if you notice, there's not fallout. Maybe a little bit in the outer corner, but really minimal fallout when you apply it this way. Now I am doing a darker eye look, so I'm going to be using this blue right here. Now this shade is a little bit of a gritty shade, but if you apply it moist, like I said, you won't have that problem. I'm going to be using a little bit of Max Prep and Prime, the Fix Plus, to moisten my brush a little bit, and I'm just going to paint this shade right on my lid. So nice and moist. Quickly go in the shadow right here using short strokes, because you don't want to get it everywhere. And I'm going to use both sides of my brush. Just wiggle it back and forth, make sure I get a lot of pigmentation there, and then I'm just going to paint on. So as you can see, it's super pigmented when you do it this way, and look, no fallout. So I'm painting it on, and I'm staying on the lid right now. I will be blending it up later, but right now I just want to stay on the lid area. Okay, so now that I've done the lid area, I'm gonna just gently make wisping strokes upward, because I don't want to get that super pigmentation too far above the crease line. That's what the transitional shade is for. It's supposed to blend into that transition shade. So there we go, right above the crease. And I think that looks pretty nice. What do you guys think? I like it. So now if you want, you can take the blue and you can apply it. As you can see, we did the brown here, and now we can take the blue and do the center. Don't go too far to the corner because we're going to be putting a highlight shade there. If you feel like the eye shader brush is a little bit too thick for you and you happen to have these brushes, use the smudge brush side of the crease and smudge brush, but I'm going to stick to this because I do want to apply a lot of pigment. I want it to be a little bit thicker. If you like yours a little bit thinner, this brush will give you that thin line, or any brush that has a smaller domed area, whereas this is a little bit fluffier. Still dense, but fluffy. So right there to the center of the bottom. There we go. Now if you want, you can take your finger and you can apply a little bit to the center of the lid, or you could use one of the highlight shades, but I want to keep the blue the way it looks now. I like the light shift in it, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to the inner corner of my eye, and that's where I'm going to use my smudge brush. And I'm going to go right into one of the highlighter shades. So we already did the shade all over the eye, and now what I want to do is I want to do a little bit of a gold in the inner corner, so I'm going to go right here. Just very little. And you see it's very, very little right there. And you can bring it in just a little bit into the eyeshadow to make a smoother transition to your actual shade on your lid. And now I want to use some liner, so I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Trooper liner just because this is my go-to liner. If I had an Estée Edit liner, I would totally be using that. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a dramatic wing. So now I've completed the liner. And I want to go back to the palette and I want to look at this black shade here. I'm going to be taking my blender side, my crease side, and again I'm going to be doing that rolling side action and tapping so that any excess comes off. And right above where I've done the wing liner, I'm just going to add a little bit of black shadow, applying it a little bit towards the center like this. So as you can see, I got an entire smoky eye look with minimal to no fallout. So now I'm going to be doing my brows, and I'm using Benefit Cosmetics Gimme Brow, and I'm going to be using Gimme Brow and Goof Proof liner pencil. I'm going to be defining my brow shape by doing short strokes, but also making sure to follow the line of my natural brow shape. I have naturally full brows, and they also have a natural curve shape, and I try to follow that. I'm not about the Instagram brow. And now I'm going to do short strokes leaning upwards. Now to fill it in a little bit more, I'm using Gimme Brow, and this has a little spoolie brush at the end, so it helps to really get those brows in control and also fills in where I may have missed, but a little bit softer. So now that my brows are done, I'm going to be doing my face. So I'm going back to my one-time use sample, and I'm going to be using the Hydrate and Glow, the Beam Team Hydrate and Glow, Hydrate and Illuminate, or whatever. And I'm using A26, it's a little bit thicker. And I'm going to be applying this on my cheeks as a highlight base. So I'm just gonna, it's a little bit thick. This formula is much thicker than this other one here. Maybe the other one was Hydrate and this one is Glow. I'm not sure because it does say it's a team. It's oh, okay, I get it. So the first product I applied before was the Hydrate, and that was A16, and I applied that under my makeup. This right now is Glow, and this is to highlight cheekbones, brow bones, and all your favorite glow spots. So I am using this correctly. So I'm going to be applying this to my cheeks, and I already see a noticeable dewy glow. And I think that had I not done the whole smoky eye, like if I had just kept this with using the Hydrate and just maybe applied this for like a no makeup look, this would have been it. Like I would have been able to just go out, like I said, do my brows, and that's it. But now that I've done the full face, the full slay, I'm going to be putting a highlight over it. I'm just gonna put this on my cheek, and I'm also gonna put a little bit on the tip of my nose, go a little bit down, and I'm gonna apply a little bit right here to Cupid's bow. So now I'm going to be using the Estee Lauder Glow Palette, and I'm going to be using this shade right here, which I believe is 14 Karat Glow. And I love that it gives it like a nice sticking base. Like it really helps to amp up this highlight. It is a really nice glow. Like I'm loving the glow that this is delivering. Very, very beautiful. I did the middle of my nose, so I want to get it right on there. So I feel super lit right now. And there also is blushes in here and also bronzer shades, so I'm going to give those a go as well. I'm still using my Royal & Nickel brushes. This is their new oval brushes, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of this softer blush shade. Do a little bit like right down here. I love how subtle it is. It's such a pretty subtle shade. Like it doesn't take away from the glow. I'm going to use the multi-purpose brush again for a little bit of the bronzer, and I'm really going to go light on this. Just, you know, a little, do the number 3. Hope to not get it in my hair because I am hairy. Okay, so I kind of look more sun-kissed. Definitely next time I'm going to stay away from that shade because I feel like it's made me look a little bit too tan. I'm not a fan of it. I think that one step back would have been okay. So now as for the lips, doing something very bold. I'm matching bold with bold, bold with bold with bold. So hopefully you came here for bold. If not, I'm sorry to disappoint you. But before I put on this lipstick, I'm going to let you guys know that of course I'm going to be filming a more toned down look. So the shade I'm using here is the shade The Storm, and this is a matte blue lipstick. It is a beautiful lipstick, very unique. Not something I would ever expect from Estee Lauder, but then again, Estee Lauder does own MAC, so anyway. I'm going to put this on for you guys. I absolutely love this shade. It's a unique shade in that it's not totally blue. It's like a turquoise blue, and it's matte. So creamy. I love that it doesn't tug or pull at the lips. Like, it goes on like a cream, but it looks like a matte. And this lipstick smells like cookies. So that completes my look, my over-the-top, bold, Estee Edit look, editorial look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial review all in one, all together, talk over one brand, sort of, tutorial. Of course, guys, again, I'm going to be doing a softer look. So I hope you guys have watched this point so that you know that I will be doing a softer look, more everyday look. So stay tuned for that. If you liked this tutorial and you'd like to see more, please be sure to subscribe. And if you do subscribe, hit the little bell next to subscribe. This way you can be notified when I post new content instead of leaving it up to YouTube's algorithm. They don't know greatness when they see it. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And please be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.